And the Group N historic touring cars coming out on the circuit. Kevin Heffernan leads them out in the yellow Monaro. Then we have Bruce Dummett. Following him out is Greg Wakefield in the Falcon. Then we see Trevor Norris in the yellow Tirana. Next is Russell McDowell in the blue Falcon GT. There's a little bit of a gap before.
John, did you just say Trevor Norris? I mean Troy.
Troy, sorry. Then Jason Black there in the Escort. Jamie Heffernan. Then Peter England. Then Claude Ciccatelli, the BMW there of Forsyth, then Waddington's Falcon, Saunderson's Cortina, Bronte Michael in the Tirana, then Street's Tirana, followed by Jim Wall's BMW, Peter Wynn's Escort, Nadine Eggington's Valiant, John Tupikoff's Jaguar, then the purple Tirana of Carol Jackson, repaired back in the fight, and also repaired and back in the fight, the yellow Mustang of Russell Wright. So we'll watch him storm through. Chris McElwain's Datsun, Bob Soodle's Mazda RX-2, Gary Jackson's big red HQ Monaro, and the orange Tirana at the back of the pack.
That may be who we were talking about before. Qualified on pole, remember?
Craig Allen, yeah.
Sorry, folks. I'm just eating a snack right biscuit. Sensational. Sensational.
Qualified on the front row. Wright got pole, but Craig Allen in his Tirana didn't take the start of the first race. But it looks as though Allen's Tirana has now been repaired and returned to action.
Now that's a new car for Claude Ciccatelli too. Is it the same one that he nearly divided in half at Nilsa Hill Climb that year?
Oh, that was a long time ago now.
But remember I remember I was interviewing him on the start line. I said, "I'll see you up here shortly, Claude."
And he never made it.
And he just beamed this huge
U into the front end of the car.
Open the firewall up, put the 186, or 179, or was it back into the hell of a mess, was? Yeah. Absolutely hell of a mess.
All the way back into the cabin, and it was compressed into a 100.
Lost about 22 cubic inches out of the engine.
Thereabouts.
So all on this one.
So we're just Hollywood Ross.
Sorry, mate, I always remember that year too, because that's the year you took on to Mr. Mabry and proved him wrong.
Well, the huge pack. Group N, always a crowd pleaser. Group N historic touring cars.
Have I ever told that story? You were so miffed that someone said you were wrong. And I'll always remember the fact that you went away and soaked and salt like for about 10 minutes.
I was young and I thought I knew everything. And now I'm older, I know everything.
And if you snuck back to your car, opened the boot of your car up, gone to Racing Almanac, brought it back out, walked up and started putting it on, and he said, "I don't mean to be a terrible smart mum, but there it is in writing." So very funny. All right.
So the huge pack of historic touring cars. For those of you unfamiliar with the limitations of what can be run in a historic touring car, it's basically any car that
this Craig Allen at the back, by the way.
Yeah, any type of car that was raced in Australia prior to about 1973 is eligible to run in historic touring car racing. So we have...
Look, an XA is still not eligible though.
No, an XA is not eligible.
Because that's 73.
Yeah, that's 73. Whereas a Tirana XU1 is eligible, even though they was
HQs are eligible?
HQs are. And
there's been a few Monaros over the years have been successfully run, and there's been a couple of HQ 4-door GTSs as well. And don't ever use to call them Monaros because that's not correct.
And this, of course, is the class that gave birth to the Touring Car Masters.
Very much so.
Over time, the Touring Car Masters were basically a more modified version of Group N historic touring cars.
Isn't that a great shot?
And there we go. Dummett and Heffernan in the front row, Wakefield and Norris in the second row, McDowell and that was with Harvey Black in the Escort.
Yep.
Harvey Black's done a sensational job, considering he's 80 years old, unless it's Harvey Jr. But
could be Harvey. It might be actually, to be honest.
Jr., yeah. But if it's Harvey Senior, he's done a fabulous job. Qualified on the third row.
Pedal. Papa Black goes, doesn't he?
As the Isuzu Black trucks.
Watch this, Jeffrey.
Race gets underway. Heffernan has launched its banner. The big V8 drags itself clear of Dummett on the run down to turn one. Wakefield lines up in the third position. Norris was very deep. A number of cars are going deep on the outside of turn one there and scrabbling for traction. You see the big Jaguar there of John Tupikoff in the middle of the pack there.
You see the smoke coming off the tyres of Phil Ross too. He's having a red hot run. Alrighty, back to the front though. They try and stop him and get it turned. Now this is going to be interesting because not only are they going to do that, but they're going to turn and try and get the car set and pointed towards turn number 4. They do.
Troy Norris is looking very antsy, for want of a better word.
Oh, jeez, the car washed away at the front. Then he was really pushing hard.
He wants to get past Wakefield early.
The
Falcon had a huge tank flapper. He's off into the dirt. He's recovering, but that's dumped Greg Wakefield out of, well, Graham Wakefield, I should say, out of
huge moment.
3rd position and it's dropped him down to about.
There's Heffernan down the inside of him as well onto turn number 6. So
yeah, that was Jamie Heffernan.
Forsyth is back there chasing Waddington now. So Bruce Forsyth said, you know, if Watto gets that thing to go straight, it'd be a whole lot faster, he said to me.
And I'll tell you what this has done. This has uncorked Norris. Without Wakefield running interference, Norris can climb up all over the back end of Bruce Dummett. And notice that Wakefield's Falcon was very loose going through turn 1 that time. The big white Ford was all over the shop trying to get a line through turn 1.
Dearie me, they are pushing hard early on, aren't they?
Of all the cars that fired through turn 1 that time, you see Wakefield drove through turn 1 like he was driving a boat.
You just see the attitude out of Heffernan's car.
He's pushing hard, trying to break the Dummett early.
Norris is there.
Yeah, he's right there.
He is, and here comes.
Oh, Waddington versus Forsyth, and here comes Russell Wright in the middle of it. Wright, who started off rear of grid, is already inside the top 10.
Yeah, Dave Waddington's got a bigger engine ready to go on that car. It is coming. Let me tell you, it is coming. He says, I learned to drive it without all the horsepower first. I mean, that's a good idea. Forsyth said he'd be a whole lot faster if he was pointing in the one direction most of the time when I was talking to him at lunchtime. So
Soodle's coming through the pack as well, so we watch the leader. And Jamie Heffernan, you'll notice, loves to ride the curve at turn 1.
Yeah, it helps the car get into the corner though, that's why.
No one else does it though.
Oh, they all do, at different times. It depends on whether you've set the car up a different way. Jamie likes a little bit of push, which is fast, so or push a little bit understeer. So, that type of car is fast. So to get it through the corner a bit easier, you ride it up on it. It changes rolls the car over on the left-hand side. But really, really nice. Absolutely, really nice. I cannot get over the attitude. Heffernan's really starting to really push too now.
Harvey Black there in the Escort is screaming along.
Here comes Russell Wright, the one-eyed monster.
Yeah. And Bob Soodle in pursuit in the Mazda RX-2, I noticed as well, who's also come from rear grid.
Oh, he's just coming down the outside. Oh, that's
Peter England.
England's doing a great job on that car.
And there's Hollywood Ross from Shannons, just battling with Carol Jackson for position at the moment. We'll pick up the front straight shot here, and there's Waddington, who's moving away from Forsyth's BMW now. There's a pack coming down the line here as England's lining up.
We'll get the camera forward here, Jonesy. I just love watching these lines.
Oh, look at Waddington.
Look at Waddington this Forsyth. Just watch these guys for a while.
Chicatelli. There's England with Saunderson and McElwain, and then Bronte Michael and Street. That's
someone's on the front straight. Engine problem. Someone on the front straight.
They'll come into view very shortly.
So they'll be going through. They won't get through turn 1.
And here we go. There's Eggington.
There it is there. Oh no, there it is there.
Peter Wynn in the 1300 Escort.
Well, that was handy. We caught it live too as he came through. So that car had problems. So that's let go.
Ouch.
That'll be the little 1300 screaming thing. It'll have cried enough. Oh, it's a dreadful shame.
Yeah, 1300cc was a fierce class at Bathurst for a number of years in the 60s and 70s. So that was that's why 1300
Heffernan.
Goodness me! And
sideways out of number 2.
He gave himself such a fright. He crawled up to the dipper. Said, "I can get back on the power again once I get out of the dipper."
He was so sideways. His bumper bars in a different postcode. Unbelievable.
I think the rear of the car was, for a moment, was going to get to the dipper first.
Yeah, it was. It was. In fact, the back of the car was half a second faster.
Attention the paddock. Can I please have muscle car sprints to the marshalling area, please? Muscle car sprints to the marshalling area.
So even with an almost spin, he still managed to lap a car at the same time as well in Bocart CH.
He's just letting the car move around a bit too, I can tell you. Dummett's got no answer. It's good night, Irene, for him. So
I think the theory behind Heffernan building up such a big gap early because he knows that Russell Wright's coming through from the rear.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to muck around squabbling with Dummett.
Look at Norrie.
Black's going superbly there.
Wakefield again. There comes Wright. Soodle's car looks faster there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
See,
Jamie Heffernan.
he loves
Dummett does the same too, by the way. That doesn't mean it's right. He just does the same.
Well, I guess I come from the same school.
Oh, Forsyth's got down the inside of Dave Bonington. There goes Claude Chickatelli. McAway comes through. Then we come to Saunderson.
Then England, Bronte Michael.
Isn't she doing a good job today?
Yeah.
Talented young girl, that girl.
She qualified very well. We got a spinner at turn 6.
Oh,
and
that's Tubikoff.
Yeah, the big Jag.
Spin around.
Jeez, I tell you.
Mark 7 Jaguar has the famous 3.4 litre 6-cylinder Jaguar engine.
Oh, Forsyth's had a big lock-up too. Was it him down there?
A number of lock-ups down there. That's Norris and... No, not Norris. That's Russell Wright trying to get the position off Wakefield, and he managed it.
Tubikoff's in a terrible place to park a big Jag like that. He can take up 2 lanes of traffic.
By far the heaviest car in the field, I imagine.
Yeah, it's another car that goes through 2 different time zones when it drives through a town.
It's actually a Targa Tasmania car primarily, but he loves racing it in Griffin historic touring cars to get the miles.
Spec. It's the same spec. So at the moment, we're just watching Norris at the moment on his own.
Yeah, the 85 Tory. He's having a good run there. He's in 3rd position at the moment, although he's been caught by Harvey Black. And
look at him, he got on the gas and he got sideways.
Yeah, on the power a little too early in turn 4.
Picks up that left-hand front, trying to get out of the corner, rolls it across the edge of the curb. That's not slow, that's fast. Doing a good job of that. In fact, my favourite thing with Troy Norris is when he gets to was when he brings out the purple Falcon. That's my favourite car.
But we watch Russell Wright is storming through this field now. Dummett is hauling in Heffernan. It looks like the Monaro has gotten the wobbles again. It seems to use up something in the car very quickly.
There's Troy Norris there. Now coming across into turn number 1. Watch his attitude through here.
But yeah, Russell Wright is almost on Norris here. There's Black between them still in the little blue Escort.
Norrie, a long time on the brakes here trying to get the car into turn number 2. That's interesting. Like he's obviously slow in, fast out, I'd say is how he likes to attack the corner. Gets it set, drops it on the nose, he'll get it turned into the crossover here, into the dipper. We'll stay with him. Watch this shot. Big lock-up then coming into the dipper.
Yeah, that was Wakefield in the GT Falcon.
He's 50% of those tyres. They're rubbish by now.
Yeah.
His mate in Eddington's going to get a whole look at...
but she's a veteran competitor, not in racing so much, but certainly she's been driving for a while now, so she knows to keep well to the left in that situation to let the faster cars go through. 3
laps remaining, Jonesy. 2 this time round.
You see the gap.
2 laps left.
Yeah, we just see Dummett in 2nd place come through to view. Tupikoff is back up and going again and is lapped by Norris. And
here comes Russell Wright's coming too, by the way.
Yeah, he would have overtaken Black on the run to turn 1.
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
Yeah,
right.
He's right behind Tupikoff though, so is Tupikoff going to ruin his run into turn number 2?
And Norris will be hoping so. He knows he's going to be vulnerable to that monstrously powerful yellow Mustang.
Staying with the shot, we're waiting for who's going to come into shot here.
Oh, it'll be right by now. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Big understeer though coming in the corner, Russell Wright.
Now the reason why Wakefield's pushing so hard into the dipper is because Soodle's caught him in the RX2.
Yep.
So I see Norris. Now he's going to be attacked shortly. Oh, Wright's still further back than I would have thought.
Let's get the yellow and blue car happening.
So it is going to happen.
We're about to shift and pick up this battle for 4th position. Russell Wright there.
That's interesting. That's on trailing. They're all locking up.
Yeah.
That's on an unweighted right-hand rear.
They're all getting a bit of desperates going on here.
Yeah, something's going to happen. Last lap board should be out.
Soodle is attacking Wakefield for position there. Soodle in the blue RX2. We pick up Harvey Black's Escort. He's well and truly losing ground now to Russell Wright. Wright's away.
Last lap.
So Harvey Black's done a terrific job, but there's no way that he was going to hold out a car with 3 times the horsepower and double the engine capacity. As Dummett's right on that Heffernan's tail.
Look at this. Here we go. This is the race for the lead. Last lap coming into turn number.
They're heading up towards turn 6 now.
Down into
coming
turn
up towards
6.
the final turn.
Race
They're
leader.
already out of shot. They're up into turn 6 now.
They're in turn 6. Race leader.
Coming down the front straight. And has Dummett snuck into the lead? I think that Dummett has actually sprung a surprise on Heffernan. We're waiting for them to come into view. No, Heffernan's got there. It was a side-by-side run down the front straight, but Heffernan did get the win.
0.15 of a second, Jonesy. 0.15 of a second.
Third place is terrific for Troy Norris.
Holds out Russell Wright, then back to Harvey Black, and then Wakefield.
Yep.
Soodle's come through. Well, Soodle got Wakefield in the end.
Yep. That's not now. There's Soodle now ahead of Wakefield. So Wakefield was 7th. Russell McDowell brought the big blue GT home in 8th position.
Love that car. Oh.
And then Jamie Heffernan
Watto's got a
9th.
problem.
Waddington's parked.
The Red Falcon.
Yeah, the Red Falcon's parked on the final lap of the race, so he didn't get to the finish. Forsyth
That doesn't
will
look
round
happy
out the
either.
top 10.
Well, take that other shot if you can out of
Yeah,
camera
there's a bit of
4.
smoke out of the rear
No,
wheel
that-
arch there.
Yeah, that could be just overheated brakes.
Okay. Well, that certainly makes sense. Forsyth rounded out the top 10 ahead of Claude Ciccatelli in the EH, Peter England in the lime green GT, Chris McElwain in the Datsun 1600, Saunderson's Cortina. Then, well, Waddington would have been 15th if he'd finished the last lap of the race, but he didn't. So Bronte Michael moves into 15th position ahead of Jim Waugh, then David Street. Carol Jackson will cross the line in 18th position. 19th will go to Nadine Eggington in the Valiant Charger. Then Phil
Hollywood.
Ross, Hollywood in the dark blue Mustang will be 20th ahead, and Bocart and Tupikoff will be the last 2 cars in the field in
As
the
we-
EH and the Jaguar.
As we get across and recover the car of Dave Waddington, there's a little bit of a grass fire from the brakes and exhaust, so it's saying more than
that can
likely
happen.
underneath it. Watto gets out of the car.
Where is that? Hey Ben, can you
Hey Watto, I've got you on camera, mate. I know you can hear me. He's right near a speaker across there. Thumbs up, everything's okay, or thumbs down, mate? Let us know.
He's a little busy right at the
A little
second.
busy at the moment, he is right. Alright, we're going to take a break, back the other side of
Muscle
this.
car sprints are next.
Yep, looking forward to it. We'll be back other side of this break. You are at the 2 Days of Thunder here at Queensland Raceway. Been brought to you by